Do you guys remember how I was pretty disappointed with Dr. No? Well, with From Russia with Love, I enjoyed it way the fuck more. Holy shit. This was much, much better. This is what I had an idea of for what the old James Bond was. It had some of that Austin Powers parody in it that he parodies from. So I'm like, okay, this is a little bit more of what I was hoping for this. And honestly, it improved like in quite a few different ways here. It was a step up from Dr. No quite a bit. The villain was a little more mysterious, so you don't really get to know that you don't even see his face in this one. You just see his little hand, and he's got his little pet, the Bigglesworth or something. I don't remember if this character actually gives him a name, but I'm going with Austin Powers, Mr. Bigglesworth, with their freaking the numbers with the villains, the little shoe knife poison, whatever, is hilarious of an idea. And it was funny in the fight in the end when it was being used by the chick. It's like, haha, I got my shoe knife that I'm going to stab you with. And the corniness in this was just far more enjoyable, big time. And it starts, in a way where I'm trying to think about back in the day when this was in the movie theaters, how the audiences reacted, because it starts off with what seems to be James Bond, a character we saw in the last film, and he gets killed. Oh no! Did the audience back then, were they like, they killed the main character? How could they? Not James Bond, no! Or were they, were there some people like, I knew it was going to be a fake? Like, I'm curious how the audiences were back then responding to stuff like that. And then it goes to the title intro that they do with all the James Bond stuff, as far as I could tell. The song is much better than Dr. No. The visuals are far better as well. That's more what I'm talking about here. In the first one, Dr. No, it was very mediocre. Their little intro sequence and whatnot. This was like, yes, this is what I'm looking for. And the song was better. So I enjoyed that a little bit. I still think that the Daniel Craig title intro things are far better than both of these so far, but that's okay. These were the first couple. It's starting to get into it. I assume they did not have a full-on groove yet, but that's all right. And then we get to James Bond chilling with the chick, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm not going to turn my back on a woman. I got this scar here. And I could see people's appeal to his, charmingness, and there's always a chick on his arm, essentially, with all this. So that's all good. I love when he's on the phone talking to the one lady, and she's like, no, he's not going to be available. And he like smacks her hand. The sound that it makes for the smack is a huge whoosh, like a huge whoosh. Like later he punches somebody and it doesn't sound as intense as that slap right there. So that was pretty funny. And he's just like, they're like, oh, we need you immediately. And she's like, no, we should have a little fun first. He's like, all right, give me 30 minutes. It's I like this one. The pace, I think, was a little bit better. The villains were more intriguing in this one. The gadget stuff with James Bond is so silly. Like, it is ridiculous to me. The briefcase. Are you kidding? This is hilarious. The little briefcase thing. Because it's like, you would have to be in like such a specific type of situation to need to use it. I mean, I'm sure there's a few that you could maybe think of what you could use it for, and like the smoke that comes out of the one if you open it up wrong. Yeah, I can see that being like a safety guard in general for the briefcase, just in general. If somebody's trying to steal it, they get a little make them think twice. But yeah, the action in this I think was a little bit better as well. Not great, of course. There's just kind of a shootout that they have in the middle of it, and I think some of it's fine. Some of the fight scenes are a little bit more intense, as far as like it seems like they're being thrown around a bit more. The one in the last ones, it just seemed very very Star Trekky in how they fought, and it was still kind of like that in this one, but it seemed like there was a little bit more there, like they were really smashing each other into the walls, and just seemed like a little bit better. And I'm kind of going over the place a little bit with it. It was a week or two ago that I saw the film, so it's not fully in my head at the moment. I should record these immediately after, but I'm just not that great at doing that. Sorry, my bad. They're on the train. They're on that train for quite a bit of the movie. They're on there for over like 20 minutes. They're on the train, and he seems to be having this nice relationship with this lady, but then he figures out that she is basically working for the bad guys. The one chick, was she number 2 with this, or number 3? I forget what her number was. Now I'm thinking about it, number 2 or number 3. She had some dyke vibes here, and the one chick that she hired, was like, oh, the best of her thing, and she's gonna be there and she's gonna help take down James Bond. Oh, yep, I almost forgot. When he meets up with this blonde chick for the first time, and they go to bed to shag it down, to, get some shag on. There's like a little one-way mirror thing, or a one-way glass, where they're videotaping them having sex, which I assume back then was quite taboo. And I was watching this with Black Angus, and he was just like, "Dude, they could just be selling all this secret porn. Like everybody goes to that hotel or whatever, they can everybody that goes into that room, they can just secretly record it and just have this could be the start of the porno industry." Back then. It's just hilarious. That's just funny to think about, because today there's so much of it around, and it's like back then it's like, oh, even they're just that they wanted him to have sex so that they can prove this was all part of their diabolical plan to frame him and her with what they're doing. Just freaking silly to me, but I loved it. Like this was far more enjoyable, I would say. And again, the way it was paced, I think was a lot better. By the time you get to the end, I mean, there's the plane that's shooting at him, which I think went on for a little bit too long. Like that one kind of dragged a little bit, but then you get to the end, and the girl fully commits to trying to help James Bond, and picks her side essentially. And yeah, then they just kind of go off on a boat and they're done, and you don't get a showdown with the villain. There's no closure to really anything. It just kind of ends, which I was kind of like, huh, neat. Because if there's going to be one afterward, which of course there is, it's like, oh wow, is this like a hook into the next film? Maybe. I don't know. Goldfinger, I think, is the next one, and I don't know anything about that other than it makes me think about the Nintendo game a little bit. I think that was GoldenEye or something. Was it Goldfinger, the game, or GoldenEye? I don't remember. It was on Nintendo. I had it, or I probably rented it at Blockbuster. I don't remember if I had it officially, but I remember playing it, and there's some fun stuff with that game. So that movie's next, the Goldfinger. And I'm hoping to have more Austin Power references that I'll know what they are from now, because I've seen all the Austin Powers, but I've not seen all these James Bond ones. So I'm making my way, guys. I'm making my way. The Rookie Critic is actually watching films and getting there. From Russia with Love has my approval. Dr. No does not. Fuck that movie. It was not very good. From Russia with Love, though. Nice. I liked it. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.